scientist, I started by asking him what this ruling means for Mr. Ramaphosa's presidency.
Well, it means that it may be at risk, but then we cannot foretell that now, because it means that from now there will be the establishment of an impeachment committee, and that will follow investigations, and only then can there be a recommendation for the removal of the president. And so that recommendation then requires a 2/3 majority, which in our case here would be 267 votes, which I believe would be quite difficult or challenging to acquire, because the ANC by itself has 159 members in parliament. And so if all of those members vote against an impeachment, then it means that the whole 2/3 majority collapses. But the ANC's National Executive Committee promised to meet as soon as possible and to then provide further feedback in terms of how they will move forward. So there's also the possibility of the ANC's NSC convincing the president that perhaps it is better for the party for you to maybe step aside or to resign.
Now, I read the statement by the ANC after this ruling, and it looked like they were very quick to point out that this was not about the innocence or guilt of Mr. Ramaphosa, but about the legality of the parliamentary process. Could this be an indication that the ANC wants to stand by Mr. Ramaphosa?
Well, definitely the ANC will stand beside its current president. I believe that the ANC did this previously with Jacob Zuma until the last minute, when they found that, or when they requested that he resign from the presidency. But I believe that the ANC will support their current president until a point where they see that supporting him further is not doing any justice for the party itself.
Now, this is not the first time we're seeing something like this. You just referenced Mr. Zuma. It looks like South African presidents after Nelson Mandela always face the hurdle of impeachment in their second terms. What does that mean?
Okay, well, I believe that it also tells us something, number one, about clean governance, or rather the absence of clean governance. It also indicates to us, in the case of Jacob Zuma or Thabo Mbeki, about the development of internal factions within the ANC itself that reach a point where a sitting president may have to be removed. But in the case specifically of Jacob Zuma, right, he was advised by his party to resign over the Nkandla scandal, right, at his homestead in the KZN. And so in the case of Ramaphosa, it's also slightly different, because he's yet to be found to have done anything wrong. But what this ruling tells us is that Parliament failed to do its job of holding the executive accountable.
Away from that, across Africa,